How are you feeling? John Riggs here. It's a little something called open cart surgery. Yes, I shaved my head. I had to do it. There's a movie coming soon. I'm in it. They had to glue a prosthetic to my face. And when that movie is out, I'll definitely let you know about it. It's going to be awesome. But yes, I shaved my head and this is starting to grow back. Anyway, this is Open Heart Surgery. It's a series I've been doing on this channel a long time, trying to get broken games working again, usually by cleaning them. If I have to pull out the soldering iron, I would, especially for this game here. Surprised I even have this game here. You know, sometimes we get like the Castlevania, or we'll get something like, you know, even like Mega Man 2 or something like that. That's always kind of fun, right? But when somebody just passes off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters for the NES, it's one I really want to get working again. So we're gonna see what we can do. Again, hopefully cleaning it. I hope this is a short video. However, we will see what we can do. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is open it up. It is called open cart surgery. There's been some in the past where it's just like, I clean it with the 1-up card, it works. It's like, yay, it worked. And then like, it's called open cart surgery. It didn't even open the cart. I was like, I can at least provide that. I got these screwdrivers. You can find them on Amazon and eBay and all that too. 3.8mm security bit. Sometimes it's called a Nintendo game bit or security bit, whatever you want to do here. So, well, hopefully you're doing well. I understand that my videos are a little, not few and far between, but you know, it's got a lot of other projects going on. Like again, like I said, I was filming that movie recently. I've been more involved with the local wrestling scene. I'm like the ring announcer for Reactivate Pro Wrestling in Tri-Cities in Richland, Washington. So if you live in the Tri-Cities area, would love to have you come down to a show sometime. I get to wear my cosplay jackets whenever I ring announce for Tri-Cities. That's always fun for me. Oh, we have a show coming up too. May 10th in Wenatchee, actually. So I'll be at that show coming up here as well. Star Spangled Banger. That should be a fun time. Why is this one not wanting to come out? Trying to unscrew it for the last little bit here. Okay. And I mean, even though this screw is not coming out, I can just kind of open that up and pry it out, but I don't want to do that if I don't have to. Had a great time at Game On Expo recently. Had a really good time there, so hopefully you were there. In fact, that's where this game was dropped off, was Game On Expo. Alright, I'm actually going to put it on my little mat here. And it just seems like this, maybe the screwdriver, I've used it so much, it's starting to... Still looks good. You've blown a Nintendo game and it works, so I've blown a screwdriver and it works. I do have another one, but let me see. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm just trying to see if I can... There's always gunk and grime and stuff, so maybe if I just kind of help ease some of that out. Oop, using one screwdriver to work with another screwdriver. That is something. Did that work? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, and I like to do the types of videos where I'm like, here's a bunch of Nintendo games, or here's a bunch of Super Nintendo games, or here's me recommending a bunch of import games or something like that. But open cart surgery videos to me are kind of nice. It's a little bit of a vlog as well, a little bit of a podcast with something going on in the background. It's not really a podcast because I'm not. You know, it's funny. They're all called podcasts now, but it used to be they were called podcasts because they were for your Apple iPod. Just like people calling, oh, these are my AirPods. No, they're not. Those are not made by Apple, therefore, they are not AirPods. They are wireless earbuds, whatever you want to call them. But I want to be able to open it up completely so I don't have to, you know, drag it across plastic or anything like that. I have a copy of Flintstones 2, The Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. I did a video on it a while ago where, because it was an ex-rental copy, somebody dipped super glue down the hole so you couldn't unscrew it. And I was like... I guess it makes sense, but now it's like I can't open it to prove it's legit. I have no reason to believe it's not. I had another game that also had that going on. They dripped the glue in there, and I was able to soften the glue enough to open the game up, and it was Darkwing Duck was the other one that was like that. And I opened that up, and it was legit. So it's like, yeah, but I need to see it with my own eyes. All right, I'm done fiddling with this. I'm going to do the thing I said I could do. I'm just going to open it up a little bit like that. Not going to break it. It's not screwed in or anything like that. It's just in a little placeholder made with plastic. And there you go. Didn't want to have to, but in this case, I'm going to. And then I will, you can test this just with the circuit board. I'm going to pop it in my top loader to test it, make sure it works and everything. But I'm going to clean it first. And let me tell you other conventions that are coming up soon, because I have, it's funny, and this is between you and I'm kind of the old guard of YouTube. retro gaming especially. You know, but on YouTube, about 10 years, like regularly making videos. I mean, I've been on YouTube longer than that, but like regularly making videos like this, 8 or 9 years, something like that. And so I'm not, you know, so I get it. There's other YouTube people who, you know, who are the new hot thing and everyone's talking about them, and good for them. I'm not getting the invites like I used to. And a lot of the traditional conventions that used to bring in YouTube people see the value, and I agree with them 100%, of bringing in voice actors and stuff like that, because that's a huge draw. You know, and there's a lot of conventions that mix and match. There's a lot of conventions that have the voice actors, and a lot of conventions that also have a couple of the YouTube guests as well. Got to have both, you know, representing both sides, and those are my favorite conventions. So I honestly didn't think I was going to get a lot of convention invites this year, and I would have been okay with that. But as it turns out, let me see my list. Phoenix aside, because I was just in Phoenix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So I have 8 other conventions later on this year from people who's in, well, maybe it's 7, because I think one of these I'm flying to on my own just to hang out. So about 7 or 8 invites. So always appreciate that, and thank you for still considering guys like myself who just like to hang out. You know, I sell my video games, and you know, I also know, I mean, yes, I also sell my games on, like, Shopify and Etsy and stuff like that, too. And we'll talk about those games coming up here right quick. This is called a 1-Up card. I'll show you what it looks like. This is a 1-Up card, and it features, it has a fluid side and a dry side. It fits right into a cartridge, but I still like to open up the thing and clean it this way. I just put some rubbing alcohol. I have this little dropper device. It's rubbing alcohol. Put it on the fluid side. You just scrape it like this, and you can buff it out with the dry side. Extra buff. And while I'm doing this, let me tell you about the conventions that are coming up. You can find me in Memphis, Tennessee for the first time. I'll be in Memphis at Mid-South MegaCon. Now, that is one I'm flying to myself. Just to help out, just to hang out. I've never been to Memphis, so why not check it out? Going to Game and Geek Expo in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's on June 7th and 8th. Never been to North Carolina. So, I've been to South Carolina a few times for Siege. But yeah, going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina this year for the first time. That's June 7th and 8th for that one. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to pop it in just like this and see if it works. Man, I hope it works. Other conventions that are coming up really quickly. Roseville Gaming Expo, that's in Roseville, California, just north of Sacramento. Sometimes they call it the Fire and Ice Expo because it's, I'm actually wearing the shirt. It's presented by Fire and Ice. So Fire and Ice presents Roseville Gaming Expo. June 21st and 22nd, I'll be there. My first time in Brazil ever. This is going to be RetroCon Brazil in Sao Paulo. That's coming up on June 25th and 27th. I'm about a year into taking Portuguese in Duolingo because there's a huge retro market in Brazil. So it's like, well, if I'm going to learn a language, and everyone learns Japanese, and that's fine. I probably should learn that too. But it's like, I'm going to learn Portuguese. And I'm not very good at it, but I'm starting to hear words, you know, starting to pick out words here and there and everything. Utah Retro Game Expo, Layton, Utah, just north of Salt Lake. Love that expo. It's August 8th and 9th. Cleveland Gaming Classic, coming back to that one, September 19th through the 21st. Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. That's going to be a great one, too. I don't know. I'm going to tell you anyway, because you saw my hesitation. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Yes, it is a video game expo. Yes, I've been there before. But I'm really going there to help moderate panels. So I'm going to be there more of a panel moderator, but I'm still going to be there. And I'll still have a table, and I'll bring some stuff, too. But yeah, Pittsburgh, it's one of my favorites. They're all one of my favorites. And then along with Retrofest in Conway, Arkansas. That's just north of Little Rock, Arkansas. Find me at Retrofest for the first time this year. The weekend after the Pittsburgh Game Expo. So it's like October 11th and 12th. And that's all I have confirmed so far. So if I did not say convention, if you're like, hey, what about this convention? What about that convention? Either didn't get an invite or I haven't got an invite yet. But either way. So nothing confirmed for anything else. But you never know. The year is still young. I'm going to pop this in. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Classic. This is the game. Gonna pop it in just in here. Got my CRT rolling. Do you hear that? I don't hear the sound anymore. I hear the sound when the CRT first fires up, but I don't hear that mosquito tone anymore. But my kids do, so I mean they'll be behind me and I'll turn it on and I'll hear them go, oh. It's not a sound they're used to. It used to be just everywhere. Lame. All right, we can try the Bright Boy. I could double check this really quick, but the capacitor looks fine. The resistors are fine. I've even had a capacitor that wasn't even on there and it still worked. It is a TL-ROM. I might have another TL-ROM to do a board swap. Here's hoping. But in the meantime, let's try the Bright Boy, because you never know. And I've had games that looked clean. Clean! I've had games that looked super clean. And then Bright Boy just worked. So, give it a shot anyway. This kind of stuff is called Bright Boy. Big ass bottle. It's the only bottle I've ever had. Gary, Rock Solid Productions, shout out to him. For introducing this to me. He sent me a bottle once, and this is that same bottle. If you've ever seen me use Bright Boy in this video, it's still from the same bottle this whole time. They aren't sponsoring me. They don't know I'm doing this, but I bet people have bought bottles of Bright Boy just because of these videos. And I'm not saying I'm worth something, but I am saying, look, it worked. Let's continue this relationship, because it would be very easy for me if someone else made their own version of Bright Boy and I started endorsing that, and I wouldn't say don't use Bright Boy, but you know, if I kept on doing these open cart surgery videos and they're like, I start talking about a different product. It's like, I can do that. You know, no one's paying me nothing. That's why I have to sponsor my own videos. I don't have a video sponsor. I'm always like, go to my Shopify, buy my, I got it right here. You know, got my games available. Choo Choo Mimic won the award. You can buy that right now. It's a huge support to the channel. On my Etsy channel, I'm starting to make my own toys, and that's been a lot of fun for me. Even though I used the Bright Boy and cleaned it, I may not be able to see stuff, so I'm still going to use the 1-Up card, kind of buff it out. Let me show you the toys I'm talking about. You're like, toys? If you need one of these for your wall, if you need an Excite Bike, I mean, you can also take it out and it's self-standing, but, you know. Oh, I got one right here, too. What about Hero? And a whole lot more coming to, that's on my Etsy channel, so make sure you check out Etsy for those and some other stuff I sell. Okay, let's try it with the Bright Boy. Please, please, please. Please. Alright, alright. Let me see if I can find a TL-ROM to do a board swap. Alright, that works. So, a Styanax, we will say a prayer and thank for its sacrifice, assuming this works. Let's give it a shot here. And here's what I'm talking about when I say TL-ROM. How's this for a camera angle? It's all too close, right? It's right in front of me. So this is, let me see, this is TMNT Tournament Fighters. So this is TMNT Tournament, if I can articulate it. This is TMNT Tournament Fighters, and it says TL-ROM on the side there. What means it's TL-ROM, I don't know what the letter T stands for, but it does have this chip. That is that MMC3 chip that Nintendo Power loved. It's what gives Mario 3 the ability to scroll up, down, left, right, and all around. And this is a Styanax. As you can see, pretty similar to the other one here. You know, same layout, same MMC3, has the capacitor. This is that CIC chip, the lockout chip they talked about and everything. So, again, TL-ROM to TL-ROM, perfect. And then, interesting enough, this is a TK-ROM, which looks a lot more involved, doesn't it? Well, it has the battery on top, still with the MMC3, and then another chip over here too. This is one that's used for things, Shadowgate, because Shadowgate has game saves. Actually, out of curiosity, let's pop this in and see what this was, or is. I literally had it laying around, and without a, it's just the cart by itself in a drawer that I used to keep for spare parts, so it may not even work. Oh, it does work. Oh, I bet it's Tecmo Super Bowl. It's not. It's NBA Tecmo Basketball. You can't even see it. Unless I can get my reflection in the glasses, maybe. My glasses are kind of like anti-reflection, but you can kind of see it there. Yeah, Tecmo NBA Basketball. So again, it may be overkill, but I bet this might work. So again, TMNT Tournament Fighter, but then again, something like this, which looks kind of the same. Kind of, but this is a CN-ROM. Specifically, this is Tiger Heli. And as you can see, the chip doesn't quite match up. So it wouldn't work on a cart like this. So I got to get something that's just like this. And I bet this one will work fine. So I'm going to say a prayer for this guy, a Styanax, and we'll see if we can get it working. Thanks to Styanax, get our TMNT Tournament Fighter working. I'm going to put you back over there, though, because you're pretty close to my personal space. But if I gaze past and try to get my eyes going 2 different directions at once, is this too close? I can't think of a better time to do the frog blink. This is a desoldering gun. Right down the barrel is a hollow tip there, and that goes on each, now, oh, I should also point out too, the only chips I'm replacing are these two right here. This one and this one. I'm going to pop these two out and then put it on the working board because this one doesn't seem to want to work. And there might be something easier to fix, but again, I'm just doing what I've always been doing. And we could just try touching the solder points to see if just breathing new life into the solder. In fact, we can try that really quickly, and if not, we'll suck the solder out, pop them over, resolder, go from there. So in the meantime, let's just try that and see if that's all it is. I mean, we're already here. It's also, this is actually a lot easier to do just with a soldering gun and not a desoldering gun. The soldering gun, a soldering iron. But I'm really just touching each solder point, kind of melting the solder again to, you know, the teeth of the circuit board, so to speak. But if it's cold and doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't act as a conduit. And you know what they say? If there's a con, I'll do it. Jay!
Yeah.
If there's a con, I'll do it.
Okay.
Jay loves my dad jokes.
No, I don't.
That's the last one. Okay. So again, this may not work. Let's try it anyway, though. I'm also, I have a blue pad down here. So, I mean, you may have seen these pads before, but that's what's down. Oh, come on, please work. Well, it didn't, but I thought we'd at least give it a try. Sometimes that's the best way to get Game Boy games working for me if they're not working, is just to touch the solder points and all that. But I want to make this as clean as possible, so when I remove these, and it's a lot of little points here. You can see how many points, you know. Oh, so you can see those two bigger chips here, these two, and how many little points there are there. So just got to do every single one and make it as clean as possible, because when you remove it, you don't want it to strip away anything else. And this one's pretty fancy. This is like the Hako, what is it, like the FR301. This one's pretty fancy. There are other desoldering bulb sucker things out there, and they work fine. But if you do this often enough, happy to have one of these. This one, in full disclosure, was actually gifted to the channel years ago, because I had another one just like it, but the one that I had that I loved was discontinued. Lame. So I started using other stuff, and then somebody who just watches the channel was just like, yeah, you know what, you could use this. And I was like, thank you. Bless you, sir. That should be it. So, I do have an EEPROM remover. I don't have a clue where it is, because I don't do these videos as often as I used to. When I used to do one of these videos like every week. Now it's like every month and a half or so. I don't want to use a screwdriver. And sometimes, like Genesis games, you can just pull them out with your fingers. And I'm going to check really quick. It doesn't seem like this one's going to be as easy to just... I mean, I got this giant screwdriver here, but I think for the sake of not using the big old bulky thing, I'm going to try this little teeny one. This actually came from the Pink Gorilla little toolkit. So nice. And sometimes there's a resistor right there. Or capacitor? No, resistor. Sometimes there's a resistor right there, so it's in the way, but on this one, no resistor, so you can get kind of straight access. And it wants to come out. It does. But sometimes I just have to help it out a little bit. This one, going to put it somewhere safe. Oh, I should also let you know, too. You'll be able to tell which one goes where, because it's always the PRG and then the CHR. PRG, CHR. And it'll say that on the other one, too, so. Those two little chips that are not on this board anymore, this board, you could probably just chuck it now. Unless this still works and it's the ROM's fault, then maybe. But anyway, I'm just going to put it over there for now. I'm not going to throw it away yet. But now we need to do the same thing for the donor, which is Stynex. And away we go. I'm also going to save these, just in case. This one already was started to want to come out. I'll put this over here so I don't confuse it. Right there. Cool. Fancy. All right. This is a little tip. This came with the Hako thing, and this way, in case you get solder stuck down the tube, it's a little cleaning little apparatus there. It sucks in and it gets stuck in here, and you can just kind of empty it out. But just gotta have to kind of, I hate to say sound it, but if you know what sounding is, great. If you don't Google it. It's also sounding is also the same reason that you never want to buy a used Nintendo DS stylus. I'll just say that out loud. Okay, We don't need this anymore unless it doesn't work and I put it back and whatever. So I'm actually going to unplug this and put it somewhere safe. It's still very hot. So I'm going to put this just on the cutting board, something wooden. I can't find my solder spool. I did find a string of solder that's not very long. This should, however, still be enough, I think. I hope it is, because this is all I got to work with. And we're going to see. So all I'm doing is taking this game. This was a Styanax. This was the one that looks pretty rough. Yep. So I'm taking this game and I'm adding this guy. This is the longer one. This is the CHR. And the same way it was. Like if you're looking at it like this, the print should be upside down, because that's how they did it. The PRG on the PRG side. So you can usually tell or see it, but sometimes it'll say CHR, PRG, so you know which one goes where. And then sometimes there's a notch that tells you which direction the chip should be in. But these ones just have a circle representing where the notch is. So it's like, you know, the notch is there and then circle's there. I don't know. Anyway, just make it look the same. I'm going to, this is going to be a boring part, so you're going to see my bald head for a second. Or I'll just, you know, that's the power of editing. I'll just skip over it. So here's what it looks like without, and then we'll do one of those cool wavy effects to show you what happens after I solder it. So here's without solder. Wavy, wavy, wavy. Or, I mean, you know, I have this camera that can actually position down here. Let's see if I can do that. Just had to double check one of those pins there because I couldn't quite see it. Put the camera here, now the microphone's in my way. That's all right. Now double check and actually put it on the right side. Yep, okay. Anyway. Again with the close-up. So, never mind the wavy, wavy, wavy part. I'll just leave that in there, though, just to be funny. So, okay, this is now Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter on the Styanax board, which looked a little corroded, but it did work. And, again, if you look at the coding here, for the chips, it says TF for Tournament Fighter. So making sure I put the right game on the other board and all that, too. Let's have a look. Or if you just skip to the end of the video, you're just like, never mind, just show me the ending. Well, here's that. Dumb and lame. So it's probably the ROM itself. I'm so tempted to try that TK ROM. Maybe that'll be next. I don't have enough solder though. Yeah. It does work. A TK ROM, I think, is just a TL ROM with like I think probably SRAM or WRAM and battery support. Stuff that doesn't even need. But if it's a working board, well, if it wants to zoom in or come on, go. Dude is my solder spool. Okay. Because first thing we're gonna do, again, the oldest Styanax board is the new TF. Let's take it right off and do this all over again. Okay. Once again, see if there's any spots on this side. Sometimes on the other side you can see, I mean, like biting on ice cubes. There we go. Oh, and that's exactly what happened. I'll show you. So the tracer right there kind of came up a little bit. You see that? Time for this big boy. We're going to put this game on this. We need a win, buddy. Okay. Boy, the solder coming up from the other side. That didn't get sucked all the way through. You know how that works. Okay, so this is PRG, so it's going to go right here. And this will be one I will just take care of. You don't need to see me doing all this up close again. Oh, let's do that thing I was talking about earlier, the wavy wavy. So, here it is without. Wavy, wavy, wavy. Wavy, 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 wavy. And there we go. Not good for my posture to do that. Okay. Can we get a win? That's all I ask. Wait. Kind of a last-ditch effort. Styanax didn't work. It's funny, like, at the beginning of the video, I was like, oh, here's all the conventions I'm going to, because I literally thought if not One Up Card and Bright Boy, a board swap would have worked, and it didn't. So let's try it again. So I had plenty of time to talk about the other conventions I was doing. So anyway. Oh, dude. Okay, so definitely the game. Something with the game's program chip, the PRG. But I will hold on to both this and the other for future board swaps for open cart surgery. Was hoping for a win, but can't win them all. And that's all good, I suppose. So, all right, thanks so much.